Morning, Wareham. It is Wednesday, October 30, and I have a great show here for you. The news headlines, the weather report, and today in history. A delicious show here for you this morning as D&D Candies are in the studio. We'll be hearing the story behind the delicious locally made candies. Also, I love wine too. A visit to the 1620 winery in Plymouth to learn about winemaking business. But first, I would like to thank our sponsors. The Not Your Average Antiques down Cranberry Highway in East Wareham for donating the props that you see in the morning show. So stay tuned because the weather and the news headlines are next. Wareham Court took one more step towards the completion of the Lopesfield Playground renovation on Monday. Using the help with the support of the Municipal Maintenance Department, Wareham Court was able to save the existing playground equipment. The group plans to install the equipment within the next couple of weeks. The group also plans to install a new baseball diamond and pathways to make the entire area wheelchair accessible. For more information or volunteer opportunities, please, you can visit the Wareham Corps at their Facebook address, that is www.facebook.com/Wareham Corps. Also, Monday night's town meeting went smooth as voters approved improvements to the sewer treatment plant, funding a new playground and new soccer fields, and a close to $1 million capital plan budget. The new electronic voting also allowed things to go swiftly and privately. One of the major approved decisions of the night was the approval of funds that would be the first steps towards building a new public safety complex that would house the police department and Wareham Emergency Medical Services, and could also host other departments. And to another news, in East Wareham, a man will be summoned into court after accidentally firing a gun in his home and striking a neighboring house with the bullet, which pierced through a wall and landed on a bed. The incident, during which no one was injured, took place on Thursday night around 7:15 p.m. on Quaker Road. Investigators determined that a neighbor identified as Christopher Priora, 50 years old, had fired a gun in his residence. Priora told officers that he had accidentally pulled the trigger while looking at the gun. And that's all for this morning news headlines. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to continue with our weather forecast. cloudy with the chances of meatballs today. Cloudy with occasional showers for the afternoon here in Wareham. High at 64. Rain showers in the evening will evolve into a steadier rain overnight. Low at 57. Tomorrow, rain and wind. We are looking at 20 to 30 miles per hour. High at 67 and low at 59. And that's all for this morning weather forecast. We're going to continue on. We're going to go straight to our first featured program of the day. And that is the 1620 Winery located in Plymouth. They make their own wines over there, and they're using grapes that are locally sourced, and those from their vineyard in California. So take a look. Winery, and it's also a love story because you guys are married.
Yes.
And you decided that being married is not enough. Let's do business together.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about how you got started.
So
I'm just going to sit here.
Bob and I have worked together for over 18 years, and we were in the healthcare industry for 15 of those. We decided that 15 years is long enough, and we decided to sell the company. Through that year-long process, neither one of us knew what was next. We didn't know what we were going to do next.
One thing they were certain of was Robert's passion for winemaking. The grandson of a Sicilian winemaker, winemaking has been Robert's lifelong obsession. So when he discovered that both a small winery on Plymouth waterfront and a large mill building in Cottage Park were available, he seized the opportunity. Today, the couple run a cozy waterfront wine bar, while the large building at Cottage Park has been transformed into a large-scale winery and an event venue.
And the proverbial, the rest is history.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right, so but it wasn't as easy. Well, it was easy because you have some background in winery. You didn't just wake up in the morning and say, I am going to make wine.
Making wine at home and making wine like this is very different.
Very different. How is it different?
Well, you're making it in a lot larger volumes. You make a mistake, it costs a lot more money.
Tens of thousands of dollars.
We made some mistakes.
Among those mistakes also came great successes. Robert's distinctive wines have melded gold in competitions. So could we talk about some of the wines that you make here? What is your favorite wine?
Bradford's Ghost.
Okay, so could you tell us what to expect in that wine?
It's a big, bold, heavy, tannic Bordeaux blend, which is my favorite.
Which is your favorite?
It took him 5 years to make this wine, and it is only available to folks that belong to our wine cult.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let's talk about actually the process of making wine. When you are thinking of a wine, actually not just the name, but the taste, tell me what goes into that process? How does it come about?
Well, it depends on what kind of wine you want to make.
Okay. How do you get your ideas? You just they come to you in your dreams?
No, I mean, there's only so many wine grapes.
Okay.
So there's only so many kinds of wine that you can make.
Yeah.
So I pretty much make what I like. And I'm trying to push beyond that because that's some of the feedback we've gotten is that I'm not as passionate about the white wines as I am the red wines.
Okay.
So we're trying to put more emphasis on making some high quality white wines now.
The majority of 1620 wines are made of grapes from their vineyard in California. Now, when you're talking about grapes, how important are they in the winemaking process? Can you blame a grape? You can say this was a terrible grape. That's why my wine is bad.
Yeah, you can't make good wine from a terrible grape, but you can make bad wine from a good grape.
Okay.
So the grapes are everything.
You normally, you often hear eat locally, right? Know where your foods are coming from.
Yep.
Okay, that's very important. So in that idea, how does it connect to drink locally? Why is it important for somebody to come and purchase wine made here?
Well, you're really supporting local farmers. As Bob said, that we get some of our grapes from Westport Rivers in Westport, Massachusetts. You're really supporting local farmers when we can buy our grapes locally. And when you look at our bottling line, every single bottle of wine is done by hand, and Bob and I and our team touch every single bottle. We can only fill 4 bottles at a time. We can only cork 1 bottle at a time. So it is a very labor-intensive process. So when you physically pick up that bottle of wine, and maybe the label's on a little bit crooked, that's from me to you with love. You know that a human being touched that bottle and it wasn't mass produced on a automated bottling line.
Okay.
Which makes a difference, because you're buying mass-produced wine, they're going to put the legal limit of sulfur into the wine because they don't want to have a problem with it being on the shelves for 5 years or whatever. We do all the chemistry right here in the back room. We only put the minimal amount of sulfur in that it's going to take to keep the wine.
So what is the proper way to taste wine?
Well, you always want to do your swirl, sniff, and sip, because this
Can I
will
add one to that?
Yes.
You sniff, swirl, and then sniff again.
So you just
And then
want.
taste.
So this wine will taste different when you drink it tomorrow because we've opened it and have had time to breathe. That's why they talk about decanting wine.
So now you have one more reason to wine and dine in Plymouth. I hope you enjoyed that. They are located in Plymouth and now growing strong at 105. Mary Rose Story. At 349 Onset Avenue is the home of Onset's oldest resident, Mary Rose, who just turned 105 years old.
I remember my father's store.
It was this area, right?
Yes.
This was the store.
Yeah, and had a room in back. And he had a wonderful store, I tell you. He had bananas hanging from the rafters, and you had boxes of grapes.
Born in 1914, Mary Rose is the oldest of 7 children. She attended Oak Grove School right outside her house. So this particular school right here,
Yes,
who was allowed to go there?
just the Cape Verdeans. They were segregated from the Hammond School. Hammond School was there, and
right in
Mom
the
was
center
going there, and they actually took them out of there and put them all over here, separated them.
Though she was born in the United States, her first language was Creole, the language of her parents, who were Cape Verdean immigrants. One of her childhood fond memories was the day she got a baby sister.
That day, we were all in that room there.
Now it's a kitchen, right?
Yes.
And we don't know what's going on upstairs. My father sent me to get the ladies. The
midwives.
Yeah, get the ladies.
They all went upstairs. Then my father comes down, he says, "You have a sister."
And at the same time, the train is back here, the tracks,
Yes.
and the train went by.
The train used to run back, way back. And, well, so I told my sister and brothers, "Did you hear that train?" "Yep." "Well, Alvina came in that train. My father told me that that's where we all came." Then I go to school and I told them.
You told them Avina came from the train.
The boys are smart. They know everything, I guess. They told me, "Alvina didn't come on any train." And they left it at that.
I love to get that. She also recalls tough moments in history, such as segregation, war, and the Great Depression.
1929, there was
The Depression. The crash
my father
in the government.
closed the store. That depression was bad. You see people walking in the road looking for money. Nobody had work. There was a factory in East Wareham closed down. And they got her used to work on it. And,
What did they have in that factory? Was that
cotton.
cotton? There was a
Cotton
cotton factory in
compound.
Wareham. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, down south.
Her family, like many other Cape Verdean families at that era, worked in the cranberry bogs.
Everybody picked the cranberries, especially the men. They bring the kids too. They brought us too to pick the berries, and we did a good job. I made $30. You know, that was good. And that's how I got that coat with the fur.
She met her husband while picking cranberries. She also recalls the day his aunt came to her house to ask her parents for a hand in marriage.
I don't know what my father was going to say. I went to bed. I knew they were coming. I went to bed. I stayed there.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up with your mother?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, she was always a very quiet person, very religious, but she loves to teach. So she was very kind, and she taught me a lot, you know, and patience, and she cooked. She's a very hard worker. In the summers, my dad had made in the backyard, he made out of barrels and things like that, fire pits and stuff. So Mom would can. She would do all the canning. We lived down the Cape at the time, and the weathers are bad. So to prepare for winter, she would can all the vegetables, corn and beans and piccalilli and pickles, and then we had our home was like a zoo. We had chimpanzees, we had geese, we had calves, cows, and then that would get slaughtered for the winter. We had a huge freezer down in the cellar, and so they would package it all up, all the meats, and then like they would purchase rice by the 100-pound, Uncle Ben's rice by the 100-pound bags, and then they put tobacco inside so the bugs don't get the rice. It'll last all winter. Lima beans, you buy it in the big bags, and you put the tobacco, crush up the cigarettes and put them in there, you know.
Scrambled in a pool of long memories is a pivotal incident in her life, the day she eluded a terrible fate.
She was telling me when she was going to night school, and she was wondering, I'll just cut to the chase there for you. She was wondering why some of the ladies in the class, they would, all of a sudden she started seeing some of the women not coming back to school. So she was saying that one day she went to the school, and so she took a ride with this guy. So go ahead, you pick it up from there.
Yeah, well, that guy was Creole, you know, and he was teaching school too. He said, "Where do you ladies live?" They said, "No, nothing." He said, "Well, I live up that way. I can give you a rise." And then the next day, it took 2 days. Those two women, I didn't see those women.
Never came back to class.
They never come back. I don't know where they went. Fact is,
So the next night she took the ride again for him to take her home. So you got in the car and he's driving off from school. So where do you go?
all of a sudden I see there's snow on the ground, and there's woods.
And she doesn't recognize where she is.
I said, you got to take me home. I said, you don't go home this way. He says, I shortcut, and Then he stopped the car. He said, I want you to promise me that you go out with me. I said, I'm not going out with nobody. I went to go to do.
Open the door.
He locked the door.
She started saying the Hail Mary.
Yeah. That time I was going to church all the time, but I didn't realize that I was praying. You meet that? All of a sudden I happen to look up, I see a car coming with lights on top.
Blue flashing lights.
The cop come right by him, got off. He said, what are you doing here? What is this? You stopping in the snow? Are you all right, lady? I said, I'm all right. I said, I'm not going to make any. He told him, I want you to get the car going. I'm going to follow you, and so you let her go home. You take her home. He said that. He started the car. He didn't go too far. He says, you and your Hail Mary.
She never went back either.
I wanted
She
to
quit the
finish
school.
out my high school, but I should have reported him. That's what I should have done.
When somebody asks you about your secret of making it to 104, almost 105, what do you say?
Well, I didn't do it on purpose.
I think that's amazing that God has allowed her to be able to enjoy the technology of today. And so it's fascinating. It's like when people are ill, and you're going to pull the plug, and then next week they have a cure. So it was like, wow, she can take advantage of this. So it's really, really something.
In a nutshell, Mary Rose attributes personal communication and family as a recipe for a long, happy life. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to continue with more.
Today's cell phones are not only an extension of our arms, but a life tool. Hello, I am Maureen Farrington from Advantage Custom Apps. I am here today to talk about a certain app, a tool that will help you navigate your way through the Wareham community. The WCTV app places your local community in the palm of your hand. The app is a place where you will find local events, town meetings, local and school sports, community interest stories, compelling interviews, and most of all, the ability to shop local. Connect to the Wareham app by going to your web browser and typing in wctv.app. And then, once you bring up the web link, you have the opportunity of adding WCTV's app to your home screen. Once you download the app and save it to your home screen, you will then have the opportunity to, with the touch of a finger, hit the call button, which we call WCTV, the refer us button. You can refer the app to your friends and families. There's a Facebook share button if you'd like to put that on your Facebook page as well. And here is the menu tab. On the menu tab, we have YouTube videos, new program proposal, events that WCTV is hosting, a photo gallery, contact button, and can lead you right to their website. We also have a Shop Local tab. When you touch on that, you'll see the local businesses that you can frequent. Also, there's an About Us tab telling you some information about WCTV, their hours and directions. This here will take you right to their Facebook page. There is a donate button if you would like to donate to WCTV, and a join button that will let you join their community. Many local establishments are listing their business on the WCTV app. And you can too. It's a great way to showcase your business to your existing customers and your potential new ones. For a nominal fee, you could list your business on the Shop Local tab as well. A percentage of that fee goes to fund a scholarship for an outgoing senior. So be in the now and get the WCTV app on your home screen.
Hello, and thank you for being with us this morning. We are broadcasting live from our WCTV studio. This is Good Morning Wareham, your source for local news, weather, traffic, and more information. And now for a moment in history. Let's take a look at where we were today in history. On this day in radio history, a young Orson Welles scared the country in 1938. Welles infamously performed a retelling of the science fiction classic War of the Worlds, a story where aliens from Mars came to attack Earth. Also today in boxing history, Muhammad Ali beats George Foreman for the heavyweight championship in 1974. The match, nicknamed the Rumble in the Jungle, took place in Zaire, the first time ever that the heavyweight championship match took place in Africa. Ali, at the age of 32, became only the second person ever to win the belt after losing it. The event took place at 4:30 a.m. local time so that American audience will be able to watch it at prime time. Despite the early time, 60,000 people gathered to watch Ali take Foreman out in the 8 rounds. Also today in literature history, Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen was published in 1811. The book was published anonymously, so most of the public who read the book had no idea Miss Austen created it. She wrote in secrecy most of her life, but went on to publish other classics like Pride and Prejudice before she died at age of 42. Today's birthday shout-out goes to founding father John Adams, born in 1735 in Braintree, Massachusetts. He would become the second president of the United States, and he was the father of the 6th president, John Quincy Adams. And that is all for this morning history segment. To learn more cool historical facts, you can go online under history.com. The coffee segment is next, but first, let's take a look at our events calendar.
Are you tired of having to send money for your Office 365 subscription? Are you looking for other programs that you don't have to pay for? Here are a couple of solutions to some open source programs that you might want to check out. If you want a few great alternatives to Microsoft Office, try Apache OpenOffice or LibreOffice. Both are fantastic alternatives. Keep in mind that if you still need to create a Microsoft Word or Excel document, both are able to save files in the right formats. Another popular replacement for Microsoft Office is my personal favorite, Docs, which you can use free if you have a Gmail account. You can also use Google Slides for spreadsheets and Slides for slideshows, while saving files is easy if you use your Google Drive. If you're in the market for a new photo editing program, try Paint.net, which is completely free. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that Photoshop has, but it can still do basic photo editing, adjusting, and airbrushing. Another nifty program to try out if you're into sound editing is Audacity, which you can use on either a Windows or a Macintosh computer. Just search for Paint.net or Audacity on Google, and you can download both for free. If you're interested in learning about the basics of Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and organizing files, come to our free intermediate computer classes, which will run on September 5th, September 12th, and September 19th next month at 1:30 p.m. on Thursdays here at the main library. You can also check out our website to find out more about our basic computer skills classes. If you have any questions or would like to register for any of these classes, you can contact me at the library at smiller@salesinc.org, or you can call my extension at 508-295-2343, extension 1012. Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of Checkout of the Week from the Wareham Free Library.
Welcome back. We're going to be playing the coffee segment very soon. Discussion that I had with D&D Candies on Monday. So they make homemade candies and they're located in Plymouth, and they had brought a few samples for us to try. Take a look. Well, welcome back. You are watching Good Morning Wareham. Right now, it's the coffee segment. With me is Debbie and Donald Thillen here to talk about their D&D candies, homemade candies. As I said, it's going to be one delicious show, especially for us. You are going to watch, get the information you need, and find them wherever they are. Find them so you can also try their candies. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
So this is quite a treat. Monday morning, talking about candies.
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
I know.
How does your house smell like?
Oh, caramel, chocolate.
Oh my God.
I know.
Do you even get to buy candies anymore, or you're just tired of smelling it?
Oh no, we don't buy candies.
Yeah.
We have mine.
You have mine. Don is like, I have some favorite candies out there, but I can't bring them inside.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, you guys are husband and wife.
Yes.
So tell us about a little bit of how you got started and how you convinced each other then. Let's do this.
Oh my goodness. Well, I started 48 years ago.
Wow.
Yes. I was 14, so now you know how old I am. My aunt from Maine gave me her fudge recipe. And that's how I started. So every year for Christmas, I would give people fudge for Christmas presents.
Yeah.
And then I expanded. I did a different flavor. And then I did a different flavor. And then I got a cookbook. And I started candies. And it just grew from there. So this is a 48-year hobby.
Yes.
When I retired, I was an optician in Connecticut for 30 years, licensed. I turned it into a business.
and I'm having a blast. And we've been living here in Plymouth now for 7 years.
Okay.
So the business here is 6 years old.
6 years old.
Yes.
So how did you convince Don to tell us about the conversation?
When he retired from the Army after
Okay.
43 years, and we moved down here, I said, gee, you know, it might be kind of nice if you join me and do some candy shows with me. And he was all for that because he loves to talk to people,
Okay.
obviously. And yeah, I just kind of nudge him. Say, okay, we have another show this weekend.
So what's your process? Tell us what you do.
Well, number one is to support the operation. All the time that I was serving in the Army, Debbie has always supported me, especially when I was commandant of the academy. And so being retired, and she's working on her dream as far as she loves to make people smile, and is supporting her.
Yeah.
And so I help wrap it,
Wrap
package
it.
it, put the labels on, stack it, load the car. But she's basically pretty much in the kitchen, and I support what she puts together.
Wow, so do you get to determine what kind of wrappers we're using and ribbons?
A little bit of the process, but she pretty much has it all.
So how was it like to have a wife who makes candy?
It's her passion.
Yeah.
She's found her passion. She was an optician for quite a while. I don't know if you mentioned that.
I
She was
did.
And her passion as far as making people smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you felt like it was a perfect fit. This is a retirement hobby per
Yes.
se, but it's now a business
It is a business.
because
yes.
you are very busy. You guys are not
Yes.
just making for family. Now you're making and selling.
Yes.
So how is that different from making for families?
There's just more.
More.
There's just a lot more,
Okay.
which is fun.
Yeah.
You know, going to the shows is a lot of fun. I have people following me on Facebook, so I say I have groupies,
Yeah.
which is fun. And Don comes with me to pretty much every show and will help me set up and sell, and he samples. And, you know, we had our caramel sauce out the other day, and he's dipping fresh cranberries in it and giving it to people. And, yeah, sold out of that real quick at the last show.
So nice. So do your family still get gifts or?
They do.
Okay.
They do, yeah. It's hard because I come from a family of diabetics.
And you're making candy?
Yes, the ones that are left,
The ones that are left.
the ones that haven't passed away yet. Two of my brothers, yeah, I actually do make sugar-free
Okay.
for them. So, yes, but yeah, they hate me. And I tell people that, and that's the response I get. I
Yeah.
say, I have a family of
Candy,
diabetics.
and you're making candy.
I make
Okay.
candy.
It's so fitting. It's so
Yes,
fitting.
yes.
So tell us about what you have. We can
Okay.
get to showcase a little some of
Okay,
these products.
sounds good. I did a couple of different things for you. These are my turtles, which of course is homemade caramel and pecans and, you know, chocolate inside. And these are all for you guys. So you
Oh
can
my
all,
God! Don't
Yeah.
tell them out loud. Nobody heard that out.
nobody heard that. I'll keep my mouth shut now. Yeah, and that'll never happen. I'm sorry. This is the original recipe I started with, chocolate fudge.
Okay, so
And it has nuts in
okay.
it. Chocolate fudge with nuts.
Mm-hmm.
This is my own recipe that I came up with, and being in the area, it is a bog toffee.
Bag.
Yes, so it's a toffee bottom with white chocolate and craisins and drizzled with chocolate.
Oh my goodness.
And this is my every time, every day, all time of the year wrapping.
Okay.
For the holidays, I get into this, which is pretty, and I can do any color ribbon you want.
Yeah.
And this is a candy cane fudge.
Oh my God.
I know, I'm crazy. This is my award-winning fudge.
Okay, tell us the story. Award-winning fudge.
Okay, the reason I retired
Okay, the reason.
from opticianry, Don was transferred to Wisconsin. And I figured, okay, we were living in Connecticut, he was in New York City, and I said, that's kind of a long commute to Wisconsin. So that's when I retired in 2003. Moved out to Wisconsin, and they oh, I hate to say it, but have cranberries out there too. And they, told me the world's largest supply.
Yeah.
And I said, no, Massachusetts is. But they had a cranberry festival, and I came up with a white chocolate cranberry macadamia nut fudge. And I won an award for that. So I brought you some of that. I know, it's really...
So a quick question.
Yes.
Like when you make these, I mean, these are a staple. You go to most candy stores, you see, the turtles. How do you differentiate your recipe? Like, how do you bring something new to something old?
It's homemade.
Homemade, okay.
It's by me.
Okay. Yes.
And there's a lot of love in my candies.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you a story in a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Truffles.
Yes.
For you, these are my truffle boxes for the holidays. I know.
Not be opened.
You can if you want. My newest best-selling fudge, chocolate sea salt caramel.
Oh my God.
I know.
I love when you combine salt with sugar.
Oh, please. It is so good I can't stand it.
Oh.
I know. This is my new toy, which
Okay.
I am so excited about. I have a new printer that prints edible ink.
Yes.
So I am able to do logos, names, on candies, on candy bars. I'm going to be making one for the two grannies on the road because I'm the younger granny now.
You're the younger granny.
Sorry, Beth.
Tell us about the two grannies on the road.
Oh my gosh, we actually travel throughout Massachusetts. Our goal now is to visit every city and town in Massachusetts, and we learn the history. We just did Wareham, so that will be probably airing maybe the end of December.
Okay.
Because Donna and I are learning the equipment, so we'll be learning how to edit and everything. And we learn the history of the town, the best places to eat, who's the most interesting people to talk to, what's the beauty of the town, things that nobody will know about unless we tell them.
Wow.
Yes, and we have a Facebook page, and we're on PAC TV and YouTube. So anybody can subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
And find us and find our episodes because I'm crazy in those too. And I bring out the crazy in Beth. So we're good. And Don is our cameraman. I don't know. He is.
It's almost like you didn't find a hobby of your own before you retired. And he is like, come on, you have all this time. I know you have time.
Well, the whole thing is, when he was in the Army, we've been married 22 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Out of his 43. And with him traveling so much, we weren't together all that much. So now we want to be together. So why not do everything together?
Do everything together.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds fun. I mean, your life is like a house, a room of candy.
It is.
Going to every single town in Massachusetts.
Yes, there's
And
351.
And I think that's a unique part because when people talk about traveling, they would talk about France, far away, and they have not explored, not even their own country, but even their own state.
Right.
Even city. They haven't.
Right.
That is very nice.
Yeah, we have a blast.
So
we really
where
do.
did you visit? Where did you go in Wareham?
Oh my gosh, Riverside Cafe.
Oh.
Cafe Soleil. Oh my gosh. Greatest foods. A.D. Makepeace, of course.
Okay.
Yes, and I was telling Steve outside, I just created a truffle using their white cranberry jelly. I know, I didn't bring that, I'm sorry. I know.
I was about to say, they maybe located in here.
No, different things, but...
you got these ones?
And I have to tell you a story about this, too. Okay. So, and then, of course, we visited on set, and we talked with Angela Dunham, who's fabulous. Fabulous. Okay. Story?
Yes.
Okay. My sister Kathy, these are Kathy's Coconut Kisses, loves these candies. Every year, birthday, Christmas, that's all she wants. Okay, so her 40th birthday, I made her a huge bag of them. And she went down to Florida to visit our other sister, Sherry, and she wouldn't share them. She was such a brat. But she came back home, and 2 weeks later, she passed away. So I make these, and I have her with me at every show we do. And I tell people when they purchase those, they have to ask me for the story. And I'm in the process of doing a cookbook to where all of my candy recipes will have a story.
Okay.
So it'll be stories like that will be in the cookbook.
So what is in here?
That is like a little Mounds bar.
Okay.
It's coconut and sugar, of course, confectioner's sugar, and dipped in chocolate and butter. Everything is better with butter.
You must have cases and cases of butter. Just like butter this, butter that.
Every time he goes to the store, he knows. Buy me butter.
And not the fake butter. It's real butter.
Oh, it's
Not
real
butter.
butter.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. It has to be real butter. Yes.
You should make a deal with our store or something.
I know,
like that.
right?
I'm going to buy all this much. Give me a discount on this.
Well, we are in a store too.
Yeah. Okay. Where?
In Manomet.
Okay.
We're in Clements Market.
Very nice.
Yes, which is really nice.
So,
really nice.
you know, we live in a day and age where people feel they can get anything online, and not only cheaper but faster. So when you make things like this, you talk about love, about
Yes.
time. Okay, every single candy has history behind it.
Yes.
How do you compete in the market? How do you feel people are responding to that? Do people understand and appreciate the work that goes into this?
Some do,
Some do.
some don't.
Okay.
But you're going to find that anywhere with anything. So, and I'm not in it, honestly, to make $1 million. I'm in it to see someone try something that I've created and smile and say, oh my gosh, this is the best thing I've ever had. That's what I'm in it for, because I love to make people happy.
Because then you're talking about making a book, then people are going to know your recipes.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. It's going to be dedicated to our grandchildren. We have 13 total.
Ooh la la!
Yeah. Don has 5 children in Michigan
Yes.
with 11 grandchildren.
Wow,
And my daughter
congratulations.
lives in Connecticut with 2 of our grandkids. So, yes,
So how are the like holidays and so forth?
gift cards. And candy.
Swamped with wow. You know, if you have a party, you don't even get to invite friends. Like we have our own already.
We do.
Oh, that is so wonderful.
Thank
so
you.
how is this business growing apart from just being in the store? How are you refining some of the recipes or they're put?
They're put. And everybody says to me, when are you going to stop? When I stop creating, when I stop thinking at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning and say, oh, that would make a great candy, because that's what I do. I'll just come up with something. I'll see something in the store, like at 80 Makepeace, and I bought the white cranberry jelly, and I said, that's going to make a great truffle.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Where do you source your chocolate from?
Chocoli.
Chicoli. Okay.
Yes, they are in Atlanta.
All right.
And I buy specifically from them, and it's a very good gourmet Belgian chocolate that is made in the United States with no child involved in anything. So it's good. It's good. Yes. Yes.
All right. So which one should we try?
Oh, which one would you like to try? You want to try a truffle?
Okay.
Or you want to try a fudge? What would you like to
Oh my
try,
God, let's
honey?
do the sea salt one.
Ooh, okay. You do have to open it. Everything is heat sealed.
Okay.
That's what he does
Heat
too.
sealed, all right.
Because I don't use preservatives either.
Okay, so if somebody buys this, how long will
Yes.
it stay?
Stay about 2 months.
2 months. Okay,
Yes.
in the fridge.
In the fridge. You can put it in the fridge, yes. As long as it's cool. You know, that's why from June 16th, that's the last Pine Hill show, until September, I don't do anything in the summer. I can't. I'll melt. The candy will melt.
Oh my God.
Yes, so you have to take the wrapping off of it.
Oh my goodness. I wish we had a Caesar or whatever. All right, so I don't have a Caesar, but
Okay.
let's do something that is doable.
The white chocolate cranberry macadamia nut
This.
I took out of
Okay,
the
this,
wrapper,
all
so
right.
you can try that.
Oh.
Or the truffles, or the Catholic
Now,
cocoa
this
kisses.
is what the award winning. Okay.
It is. Okay. And you can take a big bite. We won't care.
You won't care? Okay. Oh my God. I'm trying to remind myself that I have to facilitate the conversation and not just enjoy myself.
Oh, please, enjoy yourself. That's okay. I'll just keep on talking.
So this is the cranberry.
White chocolate,
Chocolate.
cranberry macadamia nut. I know.
Okay. Oh my God.
That's the response. That's it. Yay.
Take another bite.
Go ahead, just in case. You know, because maybe the first bite wasn't really good. So you'll have to take another
my
bite to
God.
see.
You know, scream. Oh, Jesus. Oh my goodness.
Do you like it? I made you happy?
It's like Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes. And that's what I tell people with my caramel sauce too, dipping the fresh cranberries. It's an appetizer for the holidays. It's fabulous.
Holy cheetah. So this is every day in your house?
Every day, pretty much making. Sure.
Just
Especially
trying,
now.
eating, just...
There's quite a bit of work that goes into preparing for a show.
Yes.
But the reward is
Yeah.
what I get is giving them a sample. They walk by and they see candy, they see all the wares of all the vendors that are out there at the venue, a free sample. And they taste it, and it's the same reaction that you just gave. And we have other samples, and they're like kids in a candy land. And it's the best.
It is the best.
It's the best.
It is.
Oh my God.
And this is my busy season. So from September
Yeah.
until
Oh,
December.
so not whatchamacallit, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, not so much. People want to just go to the store and buy something heart-shaped, you know, or whatever. And I've done for different companies.
So I can follow me.
I love it.
Oh.
But yeah, you know, they want something cheaper
Okay.
usually. My stuff is gourmet,
Yes.
so it's a little bit more expensive, but people want to pay for it because it's so good.
Well,
Sorry.
we have 2 minutes. Tell
Okay.
us where we can find you.
Okay, you can find us online,
Okay.
www.danddcandies.com, Facebook, all the time, same thing, D&D Candies at different shows.
Yeah.
And if you look on Facebook, I always list the shows that we're going to be at. Upper Cape is coming up soon, Upper Cape Technical School.
Okay.
It's a really big show and really good for us.
Very nice.
So yes. Yes.
I can't
and
thank
Clements
you.
Market
Clements Market.
Yes.
Okay. In Plymouth.
in Plymouth, Manomet. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I cannot thank you enough for being in the studio.
Thank
This
you.
is quite a treat.
Yay.
And oh my God, if you are this, it's Thanksgiving. This is just pure Thanksgiving. Oh, wrapped nicely and sweet.
Yes.
So thank you to you both for being here. I learned a lot about your candies, and I hope
you.
people will respond
I hope
and
so
find
too.
you wherever
Yes.
you are.
Yes. Oh, and our phone number. I'm sorry.
Yes.
508-888-2049.
Okay.
Okay, so call me with your holiday orders.
Thank you very much. So to my viewers, thank you so much for being in this, well, for joining us this morning, not for being in the studio, though you wish you were here. I had Debbie and Donald Theron.
Thalen.
Thank you. In the studio to talk about D&D candies. They are delicious. You have heard from her where you could find her. She's locally located. You can also find her online, Facebook. Just type her name. I was able to find her instantly like that. If you missed us this morning, the show will re-air this evening at 6 p.m. We'll also go on our YouTube channel, Wareham Community Television on YouTube. And do not forget that we have town meeting tonight. No sense to complain online if you do not attend town meeting. Thank you so much for joining us and have a pleasant day. Bye, Wareham.
Thank you.